Let's be honest. Who doesn't like a quick fix? Especially in today's fast-paced world with its on-demand, give-it-to-me-now mindset. But weight loss just doesn't work that way, not if you want it to be healthy and permanent. You can do the latest fad diet or the slimming shakes or the juice cleanse, and if you stick to it you'll probably lose weight. But chances are as soon as you start eating, normally, you'll pick it all up again. In fact, you're likely to pack on even more. If you want to lose weight and keep it off, it's time to drop the fad diets and quick fixes and instead opt for a healthy diet for life. A way of eating that nourishes your body and optimizes your health. Healthy eating isn't complicated, we all know what a healthy plate of food looks like. But while it's simple, it certainly isn't easy. Processed foods that aren't good for us are everywhere, and they're tasty, cheap and convenient. Many people end up picking up the weight, if not more, when they stop the diet and eventually realize that health and sustainable weight loss are a lot more important than losing weight quickly. There will always be new diet fads that tempt people because they sound like a magic pill. But quick fix diets often create more weight management problems than solutions because they're not sustainable and don't promote long-term healthy habits. Having tried so many different diets, people end up confused about how to follow a balanced, healthy eating plan. So where do you begin? Can you figure it out by yourself or do you need to consult a dietitian? And how do you cut through the clutter of confusing and sometimes contradictory dietary advice that's out there? Here are some guidelines to get you started on your healthy eating journey. 1. It's about more than your weight. If you know you're heavier than you should be and you want to lose weight, that's great. But there's a bigger picture, your overall health. Instead of fixating on losing weight, focus instead on the link between the food you eat and your health. The term, preventable lifestyle diseases, comes to mind, but it can be explained more simply like this. In short, too many of us smoke too much, drink too much and gorge on diets dominated by processed foods. Most important thing we can do for our health is to eat real food that nourishes our bodies and keeps our immune system strong. The importance of nutrition was in fact more effective to treat most obese patients with simple lifestyle changes rather than with drugs. While it's important to keep your weight within a healthy range, there are other things to consider. Body fat percentage is a better marker of health than weight or BMI. Other important markers of health are gut health, metabolic health and emotional well-being. Instead of focusing on the number on the scale, rather focus on feeling more energized, fitter, stronger and more productive, and sleeping better. 2. Eat mostly fresh, whole foods. Dietary advice may be confusing and there may be plenty of misinformation out there, but there's little doubt that eating more fresh, whole foods is good for you. Think vegetables, fruit, nuts and seeds, plant-based food in its natural state. If it's produced in a factory, on the other hand, steer clear as much as possible. Ultra-processed products tend to have a long list of ingredients and provide empty kilojoules and few nutrients. Focus on incorporating an abundance of nutritious, colorful foods into your diets rather than focusing on the foods that need to be restricted. In this way, there's naturally less room for non-nutritious treats and extras. So if you eat mainly fresh food prepared at home and cut out processed food, will weight loss naturally follow? Not necessarily. These are all really important and it's definitely easier to control kilojoules if you're having more homemade meals and know exactly what's going into your food. But portion control is also crucial. Eating more fresh, whole foods is a good start, but there are other important aspects to consider, such as kilojoule intake and eating healthy fats. 3. Cut down on sugar. There's been growing awareness over the past decade of just how bad excessive sugar intake is for our health, with some doctors and researchers pointing the finger squarely at sugar and refined carbohydrates as the primary culprit behind the twin epidemics of type 2 diabetes and obesity, as well as the high rate of heart disease. Cutting out sugar and refined carbs is essentially what the low-carb approach is about. Carbohydrates are broken down into sugar by the body, and sugar causes an increase in insulin. Insulin is secreted by the pancreas as a response to increased blood glucose levels, and it basically tells the body to store excess blood glucose as fat. Sugar also contributes to inflammation and increased triglyceride cholesterol levels. So carbohydrates and sugar contribute to fat storage and poor health markers. Taking small steps to get to a point where your daily intake of carbohydrates and sugar is low is definitely a healthy lifestyle to work towards. Sugar and refined carbohydrates are energy-dense but non-nutritious. But not all carbs are equal in that complex carbohydrates such as high-fiber grains, vegetables, fruit and legumes should be incorporated into a healthy diet. Some of these foods have been demonized with the growing popularity of low-carbohydrate diets. But high-fiber carbs have beneficial effects on blood sugar stability, energy levels, mood and gut health. 4. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all diet. You have to find what works for you. What works well for one person might not work for another because there are so many factors that affect your weight, not only what and how much you eat, but also how active you are, your hormones, genes, stress levels and the quality of your sleep. A certain dietary approach might be great for one person, while in another we don't really see any benefit. Everyone is unique and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The Mediterranean diet is touted as a healthy way of eating, for example, but even this approach isn't for everyone. It's a good start in lowering your intake of refined sugars, but it's still too high in carbohydrates. For a healthy person it could be sustainable and aid in weight loss. But for an insulin-resistant person, it might not be effective enough to help the body heal itself. Low carbohydrate and healthy fat lifestyle help to heal the body from insulin resistance, high cholesterol, high blood pressure and inflammation, and as a result fat loss is seen. 5. Learn to listen to your body. You know that uncomfortable, bloated feeling when you've eaten too much? That's your body shouting that you've just consumed more than you need. It probably told you with a whisper first, but maybe you're not tuned into that frequency. Stop when you first feel full, and eat when you first feel hungry. Listening to one's hunger cues so that you avoid dips in blood sugar is one of the most useful tricks to prevent overeating and avoiding cravings for energy-dense snacks and sugary treats. Eating at the first point of feeling hunger makes nutritious foods an easy choice over high-fat and sugary foods. Listening to your body is also about learning to be aware of how different foods make you feel, as well as understanding when your hunger is emotional rather than physical. 6. Accept that it's not going to be easy. There's no getting around it. Eating more healthily means eating more fresh food and preparing meals from scratch. So it's going to take a bit of effort. The principles of weight management are simple, but they aren't easy. It's a monumental challenge when you have deep-seated habits when it comes to food. But we need to take ownership of our health. One of the biggest problems is that tasty but unhealthy foods are so readily available. This can make changing the way you eat feel difficult and overwhelming, so making small improvements every day is essential. 7. Find the support you need. If you know you're going to struggle to do it on your own, consider pairing up with a friend who also wants to lose weight so you can encourage each other and share information. And if you really don't know where to start or would prefer a more structured plan, consider consulting a dietitian who can help you figure out what you need to do and provide you with a tailored eating plan. So, hope you got value from this video. Consider subscribing so that you won't miss the next one and stay tuned.